Okay, everyone, welcome to the Sandeep Bose Motivation Speaker channel. And yet again, I'm back with another episode. As I promised yesterday, that we have somebody special guest, and the special guest has joined us with us, Alan Wilber, all the way from USA. So, first and foremost, Alan, welcome to this show, Passion Podcast.
Why, thank you very much. Thank you for
And
inviting me.
tell me, how are you right now feeling? Because we are going through unprecedented times. So, how's the situation over there where you live, New Hampshire?
Well, here in America, actually, like I had my second dose a month ago. Everyone is getting, everyone who wants to is getting pretty well vaccinated. Basically, as far as that goes, it's interesting. Was speaking with some friends, and they're like, "Oh, America, we're opening up again." And I'm like, "Do you understand that there's no international travel right now? You can't fly to Europe, and go on holiday, not yet, But America's an interesting place, indeed. But
It
in
is.
India, my God, you guys, incredible! It's incredible. The deaths.
Yeah, it's very sad. In fact, I was also, diagnosed with the unfortunate virus. Now I'm got negative and recovering. Hopefully, I'll be up and running within few weeks. And
Yeah,
the show must go on,
yeah.
isn't it?
What kind of effect has it had on you?
Hey, yeah, yeah, definitely. I lost 6 kgs of weight,
Wow,
and
wow,
also a little bit of weakness is there. You know, so
wow,
I think
wow.
I can see that slowly I'm recovering.
Yep,
So
yep,
that
yep,
was
yep,
1 week back. I'm better than that now. Or maybe
yep.
1 week later or 2 weeks later, I'll be feeling more energetic, more positive.
Wow.
I'm always positive, but
God's blessed.
life is like that. So you
Right,
cannot, you can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow, isn't it?
right.
So unfortunate, very unfortunate times. But tell me, Alan, everybody is depressed. So much of depression is all over the place. So tell me something which will lift the mood of the people. How's the system in US? Like people are going for concerts, stage shows are happening, theaters are open. What is the situation like?
Not exactly yet. They're trying spacing. A lot of the major sporting events, of course, that's a huge industry. They need money, and so there's lots of spacing. They are finally letting people come into football games or whatever, but there's spacing there and stuff. So it's definitely coming back. Actually, I'll be playing at a little festival at a place here in New Hampshire in September, and I'm kind of helping them like put it together. It's at a place called Life Forest, where when you die, you're cremated, and they use your ashes as fertilizer to help grow a tree. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's very that's a complete circle. So I'll be playing there in September. So fingers crossed. I was told that I dance ballet amongst other things, and I was about to play Uncle Friedrich in a ballet based on The Sound of Music that my director wrote. We had some of the Von Trapps were coming down from Vermont where they live, and then the pandemic hit, and we're finally supposed to get that going again very, very soon. So in August we'll be performing. August, September, be performing that pretty heavily actually. So fingers
Right.
crossed.
Definitely, definitely. So the most important thing is that what is the reason behind I started this segment, so that we can inspire people, because I think you are also very much into this field, so you understand, you relate with me. Be it acting, be it singing, dancing, painting, whatever it is. People should have a passion. Without passion, I think we are dead. So, but
Indeed.
no matter what the situation is, we should always, focus on our passion and keep growing, because there's no limit to, growth. So you are also very much, related to this field: acting, dancing, singing. You are a director, you are a producer, you are a writer. So you do so many things. But before we go on to that, I just would like to tell my viewers that Mr. Wilber is a survivor, is a fighter, and what your story is inspiring, so inspiring that you fell off 40 feet. Is it right? 40
Um,
feet?
Actually, I was down rigging, taking down a circus tent, and it ripped beneath my feet, and I fell 47 feet.
47, right. It's very dangerous. So after that, there's a very less chances of you living, isn't it?
Yes, there is. Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. I mean, luckily, actually, like I wasn't there. My cognitive memory shut off 53 feet before I fell. Okay,
My
I was
goodness.
at like a circus tent has well, like two main poles. I was at one main pole, and I took this rain cap off, and I turned, and that's all I remember. And we walked the 40 feet back to the other main pole, and then 13 feet down, and that's where I fell. But I have no memory of going back. I do have memories of me falling, the way I'm falling. It's all about PTSD and fun stuff like that, which many of us trauma survivors have to welcome into our lives. Things like PTSD,
It's
whatever.
it's a
Yeah.
very, pathetic. I don't want to, sympathize with you, but you are the survivor. I mean, the person who suffers, they understand what they go through. So how's when you were recovering from that phase? What was the challenges you faced, mentally, physically? What are the problems you have to deal with at that early stage?
Um. Well, let's see. Like I list in the play, I had massive parietal frontal lobe damage. Knocked my septum out of my nose. Collapsed a lung. Compressed L4 and L5. Shattered my sacrum. Shattered left fib. That was enough then. But the thing of it is, actually, and we're talking about passion and stuff, and how people can maybe get in touch with their passion. You see, for me, when I woke up from my coma, my comparative memory was destroyed. In other words, I had no idea who I was, and that was fine. I had no idea of the person before. What's neat is I lost all parental, religious, governmental, institutional indoctrination. That was just gone. All of a sudden, I wasn't the person that I had been raised to be. My brain was empty. I was just there in that moment. I was me. You were you. Um, One thing interesting, I don't know if you noticed this. I know other survivors do. It's all about your energy. Like so when I was waking up from my coma, or whatever, or in the period afterward, well, for a while, years afterwards, actually, and even till today. Um, it's about energy. I can see your energy. I don't care if you're what race you are, what gender you are. It's your energy. That's what I feel, and I can see it. I can see it. Or if I can't see it, I can feel it, and you can definitely tell the genuine truth in life. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. You know. Um, so as far as passion goes, yeah. So I do all these artsy things. For about a year and a half after my accident, I didn't even. People would show me the magazines that my poetry had been in, and I was like, "What? Who's this?" I have no idea. I had no connection with me before my accident or anything, and then I began writing though, and that was all therapy, really, just writing about where I was. Um, Years later, I'd gotten all my poetry together and I'd edited it with a serious literary guy, and we are about to go forth with publication. And my best friend Dave Mayhew came back from Los Angeles and read my poetry and said, "Hey, let's do something with this." And then I wrote the play, and that was in like 10 years ago, or a little more, that I originally wrote the play. And um, Yeah, find your passion. Find your passion. I mean, something either comes out of you, or you have to go inside yourself to find it. That's how passion works, you know. And some people do have to go inside. Some people, it's bubbling. You know what you got to do. I must do this thing. Other people, you have to clear stuff out of the way to get far inside, you know. And when you finally see yourself, you'll know your passion, you know. And that's it. I mean, I'm about expression, artistic expression, helping people understand ideas beyond their consciousness by using methods that they already know. Oh, they're tapping their feet along to that cute little song. But what are my lyrics? My lyrics are about brain injury or disability or something like that. And it's just the way that I am. Because like I said, I didn't wake up from a coma knowing, oh, Alan is disabled. I had no idea what a quote disabled person was. I was just me and you were you. And that's it. And that lesson, 32 years after my accident, that's like the most important lesson to remember in life. I'm just me and you're just you. And that's it. Anything else you want to call yourself, claim yourself to be, that's all extra. It's you. Your insides will show. We'll feel your energy. You know, we'll know by your words and the tone of your voice. You know, and yeah, there you go. Find your passion, or it will find you. That's all.
Yeah, so one more aspect I want to discuss, like any serious injuries, those who are suffering, not only that person suffers, their family members, friends, they suffer a lot with that person. So what at that point of time, that the mental support, what do you say? How do you think it's very important? Somebody be there around you cheering up. How is it? How important is it from
It's
coming back from a serious injury? Yeah.
well, it kind of goes back to the energy thing. I mean, yes, it's very important to have someone there, people there, projecting their energy towards you, because it's going to get through to you.
Yes.
No matter where you are, you still feel that energy. I think,
Right.
and from what I've seen, what I've learned, because it is, of course, an education. Mhm.
Absolutely. So coming back to the second part of the question, that I was talking about passion. Like everybody has a passion. If somebody says to you, "I don't have a passion," that person is lying, because deep down inside he or she knows that he has or she has a liking for something, which gives her joy, isn't it? So,
Exactly.
do you think, Alan, this kind of passion should be developed from the very childhood? Parents plays a key role in developing passion in children's career. If somebody is a singer, his son or daughter sees him, right? So, how do you think? What is the role of a parent or a guardian in a passion for the little kids? How important is it?
Well, I have a daughter. She's 32 now, 33, turned 33. Um, I well, it was interesting because she was like a year and a half old when I had my brain injury. So we were at about the same emotional age, frankly. Really, seriously. I was a baby, relearning about the world, and so that was wonderful. But the thing of it is, yes, I would always let her finish her expression. I wouldn't say no, don't do that. Yeah, if she was going to hurt herself bad, yeah, okay. But I wouldn't let her maybe stick her hand in the fire, but I'd let it get close. You know what I mean? But I let her finish her expressions. Um, I I raised a cat from a kitten, and that's the thing. I always let your animals finish their expression. Stop yelling at people, world. Please stop yelling at people. Let people finish their expression, whatever they want to do. Because when that is stopped, it creates something in that person that you've stopped it in, and it's not good, So you've got to let that creative expression always go, And it's funny, like you talk about passion. People say, "Well, I don't have a passion," maybe some guy who works a job, whatever, and doesn't play music or whatever, well, there's something that he does like. See, he thinks that a passion has to be something grand, and or maybe artistic, or it has to be something grand or something. It's no, but maybe he likes that particular kind of like engine that he has in his car, or he likes a particular kind of engine, and that's what he's really into. No, I have no passions, but I'm really into that. It's like, well, dude, that's your passion. Don't you get it? That's your passion. And you've got to like change people's minds to let them know that passion isn't only something grand and beautiful. Because thing of it is, the small stuff, that is grand and beautiful. That is the grand and beautiful stuff. Anyway. So yeah, this is what I've learned. I mean, coming out of my brain injury, it's made me who I am, and the attitude that I have, and yeah.
Right. So,
You probably have to bleep me out in a second or two. But go on, please.
yeah. So I was asking you this question again. One more thing which will come
Okay.
with it is that when we follow a passion, we see someone, we inspire by someone. Sometimes it could be parents because they are into that profession. Sometimes it could be, any other people who are legends, or maybe. So while you are growing up, since you have taken so many hats, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you are growing up, who are your role model at that point of time? When you decided to wake up on the stage at the age of 9, if I'm not wrong.
Um. hmm. Wow. I don't really know. Wow. When I was a kid, let me think. Yeah, I don't even really know. You might think this is kind of funny, actually. So there I am, like 9 years old. We've come back to America. I got involved in children's theater, and we were party children in Boston Ballet's Nutcracker. And when I was like a little kid in Germany, I always remember I'd like sit in the chair with my back on the chair and my legs up, kind of like I'm in a rocket ship, because astronauts were big then. This is the '60s we're talking about. And I'd sit in this chair and I'd sing. My mother would always play all the musicals, and I'd just sing the musical. But so there I am and doing ballet when I'm 9, doing children's theater, and then we're out. And Boston Ballet, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. The Boston Ballet Company. It's Arthur Fiedler, famous old conductor, was the conductor. Anyway, and my grandmother bought me an album of Glenn Miller. I just started playing trombone in school, and she bought me this album of Glenn Miller that was from the movies Orchestra Wives and Sun Valley Serenade with Sonia Henney. And there's just something about that album and that time and that age, and and of course it's Christmas here in New England, so it's romantic and snowy, and and all that. So and that all came together for me. So it's really all about that time. I think later when I finally started creating my own stuff, like I like artists who quote get it, who understand what's going on, who you can hear in their lyrics or their voice that they know the deal, sort of thing. Billy Joel, Simon and Garfunkel, the Beatles, grew up singing all that stuff, the classic white boy stuff in the '60s and '70s, all that stuff. But not only white boy stuff, but also wonderful funk. I mean, Sly and the
Do you
Family
like
Stone. My God,
do you like
Oh.
Elvis Presley? Do you like Elvis Presley?
Um, he's okay. Like I understand how industrially he was. Actually, I had a good friend, a playwright, E. Warren Perry, who wrote a play about a kind of funny, quirky, wry, really, really cool play about the day Elvis died. I played Earl. I'm the husband of the woman who's the president of the fan club. And so I got to learn actually even a lot more about Memphis and Elvis and how all that worked and how unhappy he was and everything, and he had no peers. That's what I really pick up on. He had no one he could talk to, no one he could sit down and just sit down with and whatever. It's
So
interesting.
your father was in the army, military
He was in the
service,
Air Force. My father was in the Air Force.
Air Force.
Yep.
And how many countries you have been? Germany and what else?
Well, when I was a kid, like we just like went like through Europe, so all the Northern European countries on the way to a holiday in England where we brought a caravan around for a month or whatever. So,
Right. So, which country do you think it's very close to your heart in terms of memories, or you liked it very much?
well,
One of the
I have adult memories too, of course. After when I built stages, used to build stages, and after we worked on Joshua Tree Tour, I went to England to work, and I lived in Brixton. Brixton. People are like, "Oh, Brixton." I'm like, "Come to America. Brixton's a nice place." Some parts of America anyway. And they're just people are just so real there. They're just so real, and they were in the '80s. We're at the end of the Cold War. And people knew what was going on. America is a different place. We're an ocean away from the world, so people have a different kind of reality here than they do certainly in England and in Europe. So I mean, in England in the Cold War, those missiles were coming mighty quick. If the Cold War happened, the Russians were going to, that was going to happen really quick. So crazy. I can only imagine thereabouts in your part of the world with people having nuclear weapons and whatnot. Craziness.
you yourself also into the army. You served
Yeah,
for
actually,
army.
I was in the Air Force and I was in the Naval Reserve. Yeah.
How many years you were there?
Uh, Put it all together, it's only like two in all. Yeah, we were actually. So I joined the Air Force to become a translator. Had to take all kinds of really high tests and everything, and they had to do like because of the. I chose Polish. Okay, when I went to language school, it was really cool. They did this really serious English course for 6 weeks before you learn the foreign language. So you know what they're talking about. And I was the second highest score in the class, so I got to choose my language. And I chose Polish because there weren't that many Polish translators, and they were all at like European headquarters. It'd be a really cushy assignment, whatever. Um, However, because there were only a few Polish translators in the Air Force, you had to have an ultra clearance, which meant it's like above top secret, or the one above it, just to be ready for it. And so we were the first people under Nancy Reagan. Remember Nancy Reagan, Ronald Reagan's wife, Nancy Reagan? She had just say no to drugs. And we'd just gotten popped for smoking pot. And normally that would have been like a ticket. They would have given us a piece of paper and said, here, pay this small fine. But Nancy Reagan had just come to office, and she had just say no. And it was because we were actually, I was told, because we were like in Defense Language Institute, DLI. It's actually a famous school worldwide. People come there. There were Indian officers there when I was there. People go there to learn English. Anyway, and because of that, they made an example of us. So got an honorable discharge and a bad code. And then I joined the Naval Reserve actually for a little while.
Right.
I like to wear blue. I guess I don't know. Though
Right.
I never wore blue. Actually, I was a corpsman with Marines, so I only wore cami. I wore camouflage or green. Funny. Anyway,
Uh, do you watch movies, Hollywood movies? Definitely you watch, right? So, who is your favorite actor? If I ask you, acting wise, if you choose,
hmm,
whose body of work you really admire? I mean,
gosh, probably more classical actors from our youth, probably more so
like
than
names,
today. Actually, what's his name? John Cusack has a sister. He was in. Gross Point Blank. That's a great movie. He's good. He's good. I definitely like him, but the old actors as well, of course. I mean, I grew up on all the classic movies and stories. So,
Do you like Marlon Brando? Do you enjoy his movies?
uh, yeah, it's funny. I mean, like I have friends in the industry. I mean, I've been in the industry myself enough. You just learn about people, and you have to learn that there's a personal side and a professional side and an actor side, and I guess it's hard for me to separate the two sometimes. I guess I don't know. Marlon Brando, interesting guy. Interesting guy. I mean, I read and learned and watched a lot about him in Apocalypse Now, how he dealt with Apocalypse Now, and but but who knows? I mean, if you are all of a sudden this incredibly famous actor or whatever, how would who knows what would happen? I mean, that's something that I've learned in life is that yes, you can plan. Yes, I'm going to be this way. I am this way. But life can change, and all of a sudden you find yourself where you have to react quickly, and you better be okay. And I can imagine all of a sudden, being lauded, and yeah, people have to think about that and stay grounded, But it's tough, the whole LA game, I mean, I'm there enough and around the edges of it. It's interesting. It's an interesting place.
Very important. So,
Yep.
Alan, there are a few more things which I would like to ask you definitely about the stage. But before I go to that, I think you have your guitar with you. We can listen something. So before we go to that segment, I just would like to ask you something which is very, very important. Very few people talk about it. I don't know about your country, but in our country, very few people talk about it. If they have a problem with it, they say that, oh my God, he's a mad guy, or he's going to the psychiatrist or something like that, which is mental health, and which is very, very important at this 21st century, especially countries like USA. I know people are under so much of stress. I know in India people are there, but in Indian people, or maybe here at third world country people, they don't have any clue that what kind of challenges, pressures are there in countries like USA, maybe UK, or maybe other European countries. So how someone deal with it? Everybody has their own problem, challenges. How they should deal with, how they should treat their mental health, because that's the most important part of their life.
Hmm. Well, thankfully, we are in the age of the internet. If people have questions, I'm feeling this way. What does this mean? Why am I doing this? What's going on? Google away, people. Google away. Ask questions and possibly find things out. And maybe then you'll go to the doctor. Yeah, I mean, here in America, especially amongst the youngest generation, you have to be hip about this stuff. You have to talk about your mental health. It's your gig, I mean, if you want to meet somebody, meet someone of the opposite sex or same sex or whatever, want to meet someone romantically, you better have your game up. You better know all your stuff, and be on top of what's going on mentally with you. I'll tell you my rap. Okay, my rap. So I was raised by a narcissist. I wasn't one as a kid. I rebelled against it, which was my own undoing. Crazy me. But then I had a brain injury, which removed all that. All of a sudden, I didn't think like that anymore. However, with a brain injury and a disability, there's all kinds of low esteem. You feel like nothing. Oh my God, I can't do anything. Well, then I had a narcissist telling me that I wasn't good and couldn't do anything. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let's figure this out. And finally here, like 3 or 4 years ago, like genuine long-term emotion returned to me. I could see the past all of a sudden. The before my accident had been facts in a book for 20 odd years. And then it started to come in bits and pieces. One thing about people with brain injuries, you have to understand things cycle. All of a sudden, oh my God, I feel great. Well, tomorrow you're probably not again. but it's cycling. It's cycling, and the wheels getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like, well, finally, you are that way. Oh, wow, cool. Anyway, so mental health. Yeah, so all of a sudden I could see everything that I'd done to people. I had empathy for actions that I'd taken, actions that I'd forgotten. I'd played them in my head so much, or whatever. So long, and all of a sudden I'm getting in touch with this stuff. It's interesting, very interesting. I'm seeing like pictures from the past, and I always had this picture in my mind since my accident of this situation with this woman or whatever. And all of a sudden I look at it and it's in Technicolor now. Like the colors, I'm like, I had no idea the colors weren't there. That's what it's like, having this emotion back. It's pretty incredible. I find myself crying at the stupidest television. When people like reach some resolution in their lives, or finally go back home, or whatever, I'm it's funny. It's funny, but you got to do it. I had probably 27 years when I didn't cry so much. Oh well. And there you
Right.
go. So he wants a song, does he? He wants a song, does he?
Yeah, hold on a bit. Hold on a bit.
Okay,
I
okay,
have
okay,
some
okay,
more.
okay.
So, as well as mental health, we have to be very much fit, because the competition is so high. You see everywhere people are there. You go for a place, you see 1,000 people are standing before you. So the competition anywhere, especially in India, where we have 1.3 billion people, the competition is so tough, right? So mentally, you have to be tough enough, physically also. So do you prefer, or would you like to tell someone like how they keep themselves fit? Is it the exercise, or is it um, here we have developed this habit of yoga, pranayama? Have you heard of it?
Oh,
It's very
well,
good.
you're certainly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Do
Actually,
you?
I do a deep muscle stretching program called Kalinetics, that's based on yoga, tai chi, and ballet. It was from the '90s. There's like a newer version of it, but that basically put me back where I am today, doing that. A few years after my accident, actually, I was married for a little while, just to prove I wasn't brain injured. But she was a wonderful woman and great voice, and taught me Kalinetics. And I'd power walk and come back and do Kalinetics. And I had ballooned. I was in a wheelchair for 9 months, and just didn't understand that if I ate, a half gallon of frozen yogurt every day and a 2 gallon, or a 2 liter bottle of soda, that would probably put weight on. I had no clue. I was just like, oh, yummy food. Okay, yummy. I was brain injured. I didn't understand. So I weighed 220 pounds. I'm only 5'9". So I started Kalinetics and walking, power walking, my little earbuds walking. 75 pounds in about a year I lost. Yeah, and that's pretty good. How many kilograms is that? I don't know how many kilograms, but it's 75 pounds.
It's fine.
That's a lot.
So,
Yeah,
since
but I
you
mean,
also
like my doctor told me, every day you have to tell your brain to stretch. Every day your brain wants to go fetal. Every day remind your brain to stretch. So
what
I do a
what
workout.
what exercises what exercises do you do to stretch your brain? Do you
Stretch my
read
brain.
books, or yeah, do you read books? Do you do anything else?
I read books. I'm always writing or editing something I've already written, or it's always around me. Yeah, the books thing. Did did that affect you for a while? Like I I was like a voracious reader when I was a kid, and all of a sudden, like, I didn't care. I could, I like coffee table books because they're big and they have pictures and little bits of text, and then, oh, I love that, brain injured. Then all of a sudden, one day, maybe 25 years after my accident, something just clicked, and I just read. whole series of books, 11 book series, having the next one, getting them all. Oh, it's crazy. It was great. Great. So
It's
did you experience any of that where you didn't want to read for a
it's
while, or,
it's very addictive, actually. Very addictive.
oh, indeed,
You start
indeed.
reading something good, you keep reading it. Doesn't matter the time of the day it is. So, as you are an actor, you are a performer, you're a singer, songwriter. What is the most close to your heart? Which one? Writer?
Yeah,
You are. Which one? Which
probably the poetry.
poetry? You like to write poems?
Yeah, it's not really a matter of me liking to write it or not. It just I do it. So
You
that's the thing that just comes out of me. Just
you
sitting
have
there.
any
Oh crap! I
you
gotta
have
write.
any particular poem ready with you right now for our viewers? Anything interesting?
Yeah, sure. And see, this one is becoming a song. Those are the chords.
Great.
But I'm not going to play it. I'll perform it for you.
Sure, sure.
I actually,
Take it
I,
with you.
I don't know if I have a title for it yet. I don't know. I don't know. But it goes like this. Anyway, here you go.
Okay.
The wind blows just before you are leaving, filling your soul before you sail away. All that you've known becomes most of believing. The rest of the toll is paid by fate. Amazing the truth that is lost in the grieving. Deeper the truths sailing the main. The moon and the stars will not be deceiving. Trust in the groove, you'll be given the game. Losing sight of the shore confirms your horizon. Compass and charts determine direction. Can only be strong as what you brought along. Stronger still delivers extra lesson. Always get more than you have seen. Always see further across the seas. Make just who you are, just who you must be. As wind and tides will turn your head, wind that's blown will blow again.
That's a great one, Alan. Are you
Mhm.
thinking about publishing it or making it to a song or what?
Yeah, well, it's probably had to do it to a song. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's
So,
almost like too big and grand a song for me. I gotta get with other people and stuff. I don't know.
right. So, any particular tune you remember right now which you want to play for us in these tough situations to lift our souls, for fighting spirit, to enlighten?
Well, funny you should mention that.
Most interesting part of this interview, artistic freedom.
Well, I mean, like the thing of it is, I mean, here in America, I mean, I was raised a suburban Catholic, basically, and then that kind of went away when I was in high school, and then had my brain injury, and which, and like I said, all religious indoctrination was removed. I'd watch people like going to actually, my friend's father died, and I went to the funeral, and I felt like Richard Attenborough making a documentary on some Eastern funeral services or something. Watching people that I'd grown up with, in this service, it was really interesting. Really interesting how faith in them worked. But I had gotten like some Zen. I had some Zen training in me when I fell, and all of a sudden, I could remember that. That was like just before I fell. I'd learned all this, and just Zen simplicity. Life is reduced to Zen simplicity. It really is, and it's the Eastern thing. And so I'll play this song for you because I mean, people can do what they like, feel what they like in the middle of this pandemic, because it really is A self-service life. I guess I can't smoke. Okay. Self-service life. Well, it's a self-service life, and you may sit where you'd like. Just go on in and make yourselves a homeland. Come on in, but you must be alone. Like you didn't know, baby, that's the only way to go. There can be answers for those glances, should be reason to conjugate be. There should be dancing, there should be laughter. All it takes is the eyes to see that it's a self-service life, and you may sit where you like. Your longing stare, it points the way, while the straightest lines always make you stray. All is really nothing, and nothing everyone. And it's the cold that forgives you, and the warmth that makes you run. 'Cause it's a self-service life, and you may sit where you like, although the hostess will seat you if you cannot decide. Is it a self-service life, and you may sit where you like, although the hostess, she will seat you if you cannot decide. Although the hostess, she will seat you if you cannot decide. Although the hostess, she will teach you if you cannot decide.
Because it's a self-service life.
And you may sit where you like. Hello.
Because it's a self-service life. What a great song. You have
And you
written
may
this
sit
song?
where you like, you know?
It's your composition? You've written the
Oh
song?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Great, great, great. So
Yeah,
you were
I
thinking,
don't play like other people. I can't like play and sing other people's music. I don't know. It's tough.
do you planning to use this in your theater? Any
Um,
drama?
actually, I usually I finish the show with that. Yeah, I tell people it's your choice. Your choice how you. It's your choice how you see us. It's our choice how we see us. Could be why? Because it's a self-service life.
Great. So, Alan, we are almost at the end of the show, but before we go, every individual is unique. Everyone has a talent. They are blessed with some God-gifted talent. It's only that those who find it out are successful. Um am I audible, Alan?
Yep, I'm here. Are you
Hello.
there? There he is. There he is.
Yeah. Am I audible? Okay, all right. So yeah, we are almost at the end of the show, but what I'd like to ask you is, everybody is unique, everybody is talented. It's only that we need to find out our passion, and we have to dig deep inside us, polish it. Very few people can pursue their dreams like you have done it. So many people are doing it. I'm trying to do it. Don't know how far we can go, But so many people out there, youngsters, they are very much afraid to pursue their dreams, their passion, because of so much of like fear of the society, fear of parents, fear of peer pressure, so many things. What message you want to tell to those people, those who are afraid to pursue their passion, their dreams in these tough times?
Hmm.
How should they approach towards their passion? How
Sorry,
should they
dude.
be, successful? Yeah,
My guitar plays all of a sudden. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't put my guitar there. What can we do? Like I was talking, it goes back to my experience. I mean, so I had my comparative memory destroyed, and I was fine. I was absolutely fine to rebuild from absolutely nothing. I was fine. People are worried. They have so much baggage. Oh my God, if I do this, people will think this. It will mean this. People will say this. Who cares? What do you say? What do you say if you don't do it? You know? Yeah. 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 Just you can drop all that stuff. Drop all that judgment and baggage and maybe it will help you realize bigger pictures. Oh my God, the society I'm in. Oh my God, the circle of friends, the work situation I'm in. I have to change this. Oh, okay. No judgment. No, oh my God, this person is bad. They're gonna think that I'm a bad. No, it doesn't work for you. That's all. It just doesn't work for you. Simple. I mean, whatever the reasons are, that's between you and your therapist. That's fine. You know, but yeah, I
great.
mean, not
Yeah,
not to quote the Nike ad, but just do it. Just do it. Whatever it is, just
just
do
yeah.
it.
That's it. That's it. Thank you
And,
so much.
and if people think bad, okay, then you have to think, okay, why does this person think the way they do? Why do they think bad the way they do? Because they probably got screwed or beaten or abused along the way. I have compassion. Like I mean, doing my play and stuff. It is interesting. Like I don't get a lot of negativity, but along the way, other things I've done negativity, and I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? It's like you want to hug them and say, no, no, explain to them. It's interesting. How it makes you react empathetically, I guess, if you're an empathetic sort, which many of us become from our brain injuries. Yeah.
How one should find their passion? I mean, everybody is passionate, but how one should find out that this is my passion and I want to be a writer? How should I write? Should I follow someone? Should I write something which happened with me in my life? Should I copy from someone? How should a writer or actor evolve as a performer?
Wow, yeah, those are all many, many different questions, my friend. To be a writer, just just start doing it and read it back to yourself. That's it. You want to be a writer? Okay, then write. That's it. Just write. You want to be a writer? Write. You want to be a singer? Sing. You want to be a dancer? Dance. That's it. You don't want to be this? Don't be that. That's all. You don't want to stay in the room where there's negativity and nastiness going on? Okay, bye. You know, no worries.
But people, you are absolutely right, Alan. But so many youngsters, those who are watching, they definitely find their passion, but they have to do, I mean, jobs
Yeah.
at the same time. And jobs are
It's funny.
boring,
Like
isn't it?
I
They don't
think, I
like
think.
they don't like what they're doing. They don't like it.
Okay, I think. So someone actually did ask me recently. They were talking about, oh, there's no manual for life. I can buy no book that'll tell me how to live life. And I'm like, well, you kind of can actually. Um, for me, it really was my trauma and understanding human psychology, understanding that, okay, from this age to this age, most people are going to probably feel this. And that's just how it works. We're human animals. Everything is predictable. All human behavior is predictable. Uh, my neurologist, a wonderful man, Dr. John Adams from Tufts University in Boston, explained to me, one day he said, Alan, the whole world can be confusing to you. Like I was talking about something I didn't understand, whatever. He's like, no, Alan, the whole world can seem confusing to you, but all human behavior is based on one of the F's coming out of your hypothalamus. I'm going to say a bad word. Fighting, feeding, fucking, and fleeing. That's it. That's all a human wants to do. Everything they do is based on one of those. And all of a sudden, the sky, I'm newly brain. The sky became clear. And I was like, oh my God, wow. That just got through to me. I'll actually, and I feel like I'm about to leave you. We're about to leave here, but I'll leave you with what I talk about in my play. 2 weeks out of a coma, 2 weeks out of my 2-week coma, I saw in a magazine ad. It was a Yamaha guitar ad in a magazine. And it had these words. I have no idea why they use these words for a friggin' ad. It said, never change, never adapt, never improve, and die naked, cold, and alone.
What was the last one? What was the last one? Never change, never adapt, never improve.
Change, never adapt, never improve, and die naked, cold, and alone. So if you want to die naked, cold, and alone, there you go. There's your map. But if you want to live a good life and achieve your passion and achieve your goals and your dreams, live the first part. And every time a shitty situation confronts you, think, okay, how can I change, adapt, or improve on this? Because, when something bad happens to you, you're like, oh, well, wait a minute. What made you react like that? Why do you have to feel that you have to? No. You're in charge of yourself. That's it. And once you accept yourself, your passion will become known if you don't know it already. It will become known once you're able to accept everything you do and your interests in life.
Okay, I think we are about to finish, but one question just popped up in my mind, which is any successful people you see in this world, they are very calm people. They don't get angry very easily. So do you have that quality in you, or do you also sometimes get angry, irritated? Because we are human beings, some emotions are bound to happen. So can you control your mind in tough situations? Can you do that?
Frankly, I do have a hard time sometimes dealing with narcissists. And I've seen these narcissists not be narcissists, so there's still hope in me. I don't know. But otherwise, no, I understand a lot of what goes on in the world. It's all based on the F's, so, you got to understand why someone is being that way or whatever, so, yeah.
Great talking with you, Alan, as always. Alan and I, we are Facebook friends for like 7-8 years now, maybe.
Yeah.
Great meeting with you, Alan, through this social media, and someday we'll be meeting, that's for sure. If I go to US or you come to India, that's a plan. And if we can put together something like a show or any kind of a performance, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
If I get an opportunity,
Yeah.
So, great talking with you. Thank you again so much, Alan, for coming. You are very busy, I know, but then also you took some time out in this tough time to inspire so many people. So most of the people are watching, they are youths. Most of them are my students. So they have learned something, how they should approach life and how they should be motivated, positive all the time.
Excellent. Yeah, and anything you want to share, or anything anybody would like to share with me, Do you know about Learning Man Project on Facebook? It's where my play is. If people want to watch the play, actually.
Actually, I was reading that yesterday when you told me to go through it. I was reading that project.
Excellent. Well, share away, share away. Well, and
Definitely,
thank you so much for this opportunity. You know, it's really
pleasure,
wonderful.
pleasure.
It's really wonderful just to be able to be me. You know, for a little while. I did the whole play a couple weeks ago streaming, and I'm used to an audience reaction. And when I get done, you know, I can go somewhere and smoke a cigarette or whatever, and I'm just sitting here in my room, in my empty room, after doing this play for an hour and a half, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is interesting. Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity not to do my whole play. Thank you. But if you want to see it, go to Learning Man Project on Facebook.
Definitely, definitely. We'll share that. And please, anybody have any questions? Always, you can come to us. Both me and Alan, you can comment on the Facebook as well as we'll be uploading same thing on YouTube. You have any question, you can write down so that Alan or me can see it and we can answer whenever we are free. Is it? So on that note, Alan, thank you. Stay safe and get your second dose very quickly.
Hmm. Oh no, I've got. I'm good. I'm good. We're all good.
All right.
We're all good.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
very welcome.